Okay, so this video is for our 7th Q seniors, that's 14 years and over, and going for a yellow belt. So the seniors don't do the intermediate belts where you get the stripe, they are just full belt colours. So this is 7th Q, and we're going to move on to our Kihon, our basics. So the basics for the seniors, you've got to think really that you're swinging your arms when you walk. And I say that because we're going to do a technique followed by a gyakuzuki, and then straight into the next technique. So you do end up having to change your arms as you move. So one of the easiest ways to try and remember is that when you walk, you're changing your arms. So we start off here and step forward. Now arms are moving. So that is our gyakuzuki. Okay, so we'll go through these nice and slowly, and then we'll do the medium speed and then high speed. And it's a great way of practicing each time you do that. So I'm going to do these, I'm going to do 2 techniques just so we can get them in properly. We step forwards and we step backwards on these ones. So our first technique is oizuki, so that's stepping punch, and that is just stepping forwards and stepping backwards. So nice and simple. So stepping down with our left leg forward, girambarai. Nice and slowly, oizuki. 1, 2, and backwards. 1, 2. And yame. So I'm going to do it medium speed this time. So you've got your targeting and your shoulders right on your slow speed. We now move on to medium speed. So putting a little bit more power in there. So left leg forward, girambarai. Stepping forward, oizuki, stepping punch. 1, 2. And backwards. 1, 2. And yame. Okay, so that's our oizuki. We've done it plenty of times, and it's really, really important to practice it. We're going to do it high speed now. So this time you're wanting to get that kime in there, focus, that tension when the punch lands. So left leg forward into downward block. So oizuki, high speed. 1, 2. And backwards. 1, 2. And yame. Okay, so this time we're moving on to our blocks, and this is where we start to add in the combinations. So agyoki, gyakuzuki, upper rising block, reverse punch. So we're going nice and slowly, then we'll build up to medium speed and high speed. Okay, so stepping down with our left leg forward. So nice and slowly, agyoki, gyakuzuki. Now we change our arms to step forward. So the one that's at our waist is going to do the point. So coming halfway, agyoki, gyakuzuki, and now stepping backwards. So again, the one that's the waist is pointing this time. 1, 2, and again. 1, 2. Okay, so we're coming into that important halfway position. So when we do our normal agyokis, this is our halfway. We're coming part way through, so our foot's starting to move, and we're pointing. We then step forward and block. So when we put our gyakuzuki on the end, we're coming into that part-way position. And coming halfway through will really help cement it in your brain which arm is going to do the block. As long as you change the arms and pull that back to your hikite, then you'll get your block right. So medium speed, agyoki, gyakuzuki. So starting in girambarai. Coming forwards. 1 and 2, and backwards. 1 and 2, and yame, and breathe. When we yame, remember to breathe. Nice big deep breaths to the bottom of the lungs. So we're going to do that one again, a little bit quicker this time. So what we class as full speed. It doesn't mean that you're racing through it, but you're doing the blocks quickly. So imagining someone's coming in to attack you, and you're getting those blocks in. Okay? Make sure we've got that kime again, that focus. So left leg forward, downward block. So agyoki, gyakuzuki. 1, 2, and backwards. 1, 2, and yame. What you don't want to do is when you've done a block, just leave it hanging. You want to make sure it's followed up with that counter quite quickly. So we've moved up, done our agyoki. This time we're going to do soto ryuki, so it's that outside forearm block. So it comes from the waist, turns over, comes across the body, making sure we get those blocks that our shoulders are turning off. So you're into hanmi, half facing position. So we start off with our left leg forward. We're doing outside block, followed by a gyakuzuki on the spot. So nice and slowly again. Left leg forward. So soto uryuki outside block. 1. Gyakuzuki on the spot. 2. Okay, so now we're going to change our arms. So this punching hand has to come back to the waist. Or up to the ear this time. And 1, 2. I'm going backwards. So the punching hand comes up to the head. 1, 2. And again, 1, 2. Okay, starting in downward block, we're going to do it medium speed. So outside block, gyakuzuki, reverse punch. 1, 2. And backwards. 1, 2. And downward block on spot. And this time, full speed. So that's as quick as you feel is comfortable to go. Okay, so soto-uki, gyakuzuki. 1, 2. And backwards. 1, 2. And yame. Again, breathing to the bottom of those lungs. We very often only breathe the top part of our lungs, making sure it gets right down to the bottom. Hold it for a moment and then breathe out. Okay, so we've done our agyuki, our upper block, soto-uki, our outside block, and now we move on to uchi uryuki, inside block. And again, we've got our gyakuzuki on the end. So stepping down, left leg forward, nice and slowly again, making sure we come to that halfway point for each of the blocks. So uchi uryuki, 1, and now gyakuzuki on the spot, 2. Okay, so this front hand is coming across to the waist. 1, 2, and backwards. So the front hand comes back to the waist as we move. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, change to get on the spot. Medium speed this time, so uchi-uki, gyakuzuki. 1, 2, and backwards. 1, 2. And yame, breathe. We're going to do it high speed next. So making sure that when we're stepping forward for the block, breathing in, and then when we step forward, and then we do the gyakuzuki, making sure we're breathing out. So left leg forward, and we're going to do uchi uryuki, gyakuzuki, high speed. 1, 2, and backwards. 1, 2, and yame. Okay, so they're all of our basic blocks. We're now going to add on our shuto, so that's our knife hand. Now the knife hand block with the combination will end with a nukite, that is our spear hand thrust. Okay, so shuto is our knife hand, and we end up in back stance. Front hand is at the solar plexus, blocking hand is to the side with an open hand and a nice straight wrist. And nukite, so we're changing from our back stance into a front stance. So we're going to step down in back stance, shuto uki. We've done shuto uki in previous gradings. So we're in a nice strong back stance. We step forward, shuto. We now move our front leg out. We step it one step out. So in this instance, I'm going to move my right foot out into front stance, and at the same time, the hand that's at my tummy comes in with the nukite. And nukite is 4 fingers and pointing forwards. And it's a vertical hand. So it's not facing down, it's vertical. So we'll do that again. So left leg forward. So coming forwards, shuto uki. So halfway is here, so our hips face forwards. we step through for the block. The right foot in this instance moves out one step, and as we turn our back hip forward, the hand at the tummy drives forward. Don't lock the elbow out, just keep it nice and soft, but don't keep it bent either. Make sure you're getting that distance, but with a slightly soft elbow, so don't hyperextend it. So left leg forward, into back stance. Stepping forward, shuto. 1. Stepping the front foot out, tummy hand is going to come in for the nukite. 2. And then your blocking hand comes back hikite at the hand, at the waist. We're now going to step forward again, so the front of the hand is going to come to our ear. So we're starting to change hands as we move. So this front hand comes up to the ear as we step forward, shuto, in back stance. So now our left foot takes a step out, and our right hand comes forward, shihon nukite. 2. Okay, now I'm going to step backwards. So left foot goes back, right hand comes across to the ear. 1. And now the right foot steps out for the nukite. And 2. Left foot steps out, nukite. And yame. Okay, so we're going to do that again. We're just going to go shuto, nukite, and then we'll do it a third time, and we'll do it medium speed, where we've got a little bit of power coming into that final move. So left leg forward into downward, into shuto, shuto, and 1, shuto, nukite. 2, shuto, nukite, and going backwards, shuto, nukite, and again, shuto, nukite. So changing into back stance for your shuto uki. So making sure that your heels are in line on this, shoulder blades squeezed together, and you sat down on it. So stepping forward all the way through the technique to count. 1, 2, and backwards. 1, 2, and yame. Okay, so it's quite a nice combination. It's fairly easy to follow because you are stepping forward onto that hand that's done the nukite, so you're stepping that across. But we're obviously changing hands, so you're ending up in stance changes as well. So making sure you're thinking about that, checking those back stance, definitely into a front stance, because that's really what we're looking for on this. Okay, so we're now going to go for our maigeris. So we've done these a few times. We're now looking for 2 levels of kicks. So the first time we'll do it, we're going to do it chudan, belt height. Next time, get jodan. Now jodan will vary because it depends how flexible you are, how much you've warmed up, but do make sure that we get a difference in height. So ideally, we're looking for a chudan kick, belt height, and then a jodan kick, head height. Okay, if you cannot get head height, then do a slightly lower chudan kick, and then make sure there's a difference for a slightly different jodan. Okay, so just making sure we get the difference in there. So to start with, we're going to do our chudan. So we step into Zenkatsudachi, left leg forward, as we do with all of our maigeris. So both hands to the sides, you've got your balance. As high or as low as you need to, squeezing those lats, keeping the core nice and strong. So we're going to step forward, maigeri chudan. 1, 2. And we're making sure we're working all the way through those motions. Okay, so going back to the beginning, left leg forward, a little bit quicker, so it's more of a snap this time. 1, 2, and shuffling back. Again, get as many techniques in as you can. So left leg forward, and 1, 2, and yame, going back to the beginning. The reason we're going back to the beginning, we'll normally turn and then do a different technique on the way back, but for the purposes of the video, we're stepping back to the start. So, left leg forward into Zenkatsudachi, to our front stance, and this time we're going to do jodan. Again, as I say, Make sure there is a difference between the heights. Okay, so coming forwards, Jodan, nice and steady. 1, 2, and shuffling back. So left leg forward. 1, 2, and shuffling back, and just making sure when you do those kicks that that supporting leg stays bent. So left leg forward, Jodan my go. 1, 2, good, and yami. So now moving on to our Kiyagi, our side snap kick. So this is working in Kibidachi, making sure that you're keeping that back nice and straight, bum tucked under and the knees bent, feet facing forwards. So our feet face forwards, not pointing out, that's Shikadachi, completely different stance. Making sure we're in Kibidachi, our straddle stance, our horse riding stance. Pushing those knees out, sinking down as far as you can. It's easy to lean forwards, avoid leaning forwards when you do this. So we'll start with our right leg forwards in Kibidachi. We're going to step across, Kiyagi, so that's our snap kick, and 1, 2. And then for turning, we just turn the head round and do the other leg. 1, 2, and yame. So for these ones, you want to make sure that when you kick, you don't lean. You want to be squeezing your side. So the power comes from squeezing that side together rather than tipping over. We're going to get snap this time, so we're going to go a little bit quicker. So starting off, right leg forward now, Kibidachi, keeping that back nice and straight, all the way through. 1, 2, and turn. 1, 2, and yame, and breathe. Okay, so that's our Yokogeri Kiyagi, that's our snap kick. We're now going to do our Yokogeri Kikomi, which is side thrust kick. There has to be a difference between the two. They can get a little bit merged on the day. So you need to make sure that the Kikomi, we're putting a thrust in. The easy way to remember that is when you push your foot out, you count 1. So as your foot comes out, count 1 and pull it back. You've got to use your hips to be able to pull it back. Otherwise you end up just sort of planting your foot. So starting with our right leg again, into Kibidachi. And we're going to come forward with our Yokogeri Kikomi side thrust kick. 1, nice and steady. 2, and turn, and 1, 2, and turn. We're going to do that again a little bit quicker this time. Making sure we're turning on that supporting knee, keeping the foot, making sure the knee stays soft, and that we're getting that thrust in. So, 1, and 2, and turning, 1, 2, and yame, and breathe. Okay, so that's all of our kicks done. So practice them as much as you need to. There is a kicks lesson as a separate video. It goes through different ways that you can practice it, using support, using belts as targets, so do have a look at that. Okay, so we've done all of our Kihon, our basics. We're now going to move on to our sets, which is our kumite, so that's sparring, and it's the first introduction to working properly with a partner. We've done our go on kumite, so Sanbon kumite for juniors, go on kumite for seniors, and then we're moving on to set 1. Now set 1 is the same attacks and defences that we've done in go on kumite before. So you've got Jodan, Chudan and Maigeri, but this time it's only 1 step. So to demonstrate, we start off in downward block, we do a Jodan attack, and that's our Kiai. So it's just 1 step. We step back for a Chudan attack, and that's it. And this time we step back into Zenkutsudachi because we're going to do a Maigeri kick. So Maigeri comes Chudan, aiming for belt height if you can. We pause each time because that allows the defender to do the block and their counter attack. And their counter attack is as we did at the end of Go on Kumite, and that is a Gyakuzuki on the spot. So we're going to do the attacks and the defences, and then we're going to do it on the other side because it's very easy to practice it on a strong side. If you don't practice it on your weaker side, then it becomes much harder going forward. So we'll do it both sides. We're going to start off with our attacks, aiming on target, and your attacker is the same height as you in this scenario. If you've got a partner, attack the right place on them. But for this purpose, we're going to do it that Jodan is sort of the nose, mouth area. Chudan, aiming for just above the belt. And then Maigeri, again, you're going to be sort of aiming Chudan and aiming for the knot on the belt. And getting it nice and central because it's very easy to kick off to the side. Okay, so we start off, because we're attacking and we're working with a partner, we step backwards. So our right foot steps back into Girambarai. We then shout, as we did before with Go on Kumite, we shout the technique to our partner. Okay, so if you've not got a partner, you don't necessarily need to shout, but feel free to. So starting Girambarai, we say Jodan. We then step forward one, punching. So making sure it's nicely in line with the face. And back, Chudan. Make sure it's in line with the centre of your body. And back to Zenkutsudachi for Maigeri. Okay, and Yame. And now we're going to do the defences. So the attack has come in as a right-handed attack. So we're going to have to defend with our left hand to start with. So the attack is coming forward. We must remember to step back. If you don't step backwards and you step forwards into an attack, you'll get hurt. So stepping backwards for the block and making sure you get that full block in, and then the counter attack, the Gyakuzuki, our hips come in and we stop just short of their body. This is for targeting and for aiming. This is not for hurting at the moment. As we move on through the sets and through the grades, you do start sparring properly, but for now, stopping just short of the body. So for our defences, we're going to step back with our right leg and block Agioki for the Jodan with our left hand. So 1, and then Gyakuzuki on the spot, 2, and back to Yoi. And now Soto Ryuki for our Chudan block. So this is where you've got to make sure that that block comes shoulder height. So coming backwards into Chudan, Soto Ryuki, 2, and then Gyakuzuki on the spot, Yame. And now we do our Girambarai because we've got a kick coming in, so you have to make sure it comes all the way up, all the way back out, just outside the body line. So for the Maigeri, step back, right leg, for a left Girambarai, Gyakuzuki on the spot, and Yame. So we'll do those again on that left side for the blocks, and then we'll move on to the left attacks and right blocks. So stepping back, Agioki, Gyakuzuki, 1, and back, Sotouki for Chudan, 2, and back, and this time Maigeri, so we're going to step back for Girambarai, 3, and Yame. So this time we're going to step back with our left leg, with our right leg forward in Girambarai. We're going to do our left-handed attack, so Jodan, and back, Chudan, and back, and then into Maigeri, into Zenkutsudachi. Maigeri, and Yame. And this time we've had a left attack, so we're going to defend with our right arm. So stepping back with our left leg, right arm Agioki, Gyakuzuki on the spot, Yame, and Chudan, so it's our Sotouki, 2, and back, and this time Maigeri for the Girambarai Maigeri kick, 1, and Yame. Okay, so we're going to go through that once more. We will do right attacks, left defences, and left attack, right defences. So we're attacking first, we step our right foot back, Jodan, 1, Chudan, 2, Maigeri, 3, and Yame. So now the defences. So it's a left arm block, Agioki. 1, back, 2, and back, and Gidambarai for the Maigeri. 3, and back. And then the other side, so we're going to step back with our left leg, Jodan, Chudan, so into Zenkatsudachi, Maigeri, and Yame. And now I've got our right defences. So it's Agioki first. 1, back, 2, and back, and Maigeri this time. 3, and back. Feet together, and ready. Okay, so when we're doing our sets, we must remember to kiai, and that is always on the attack. So if that's on your attack, you'll do a Jodan punch. He. If you're doing it as a defense, you would do it on the attack. So that's the Gyakuzuki. He. So that's where your kiais come in. Okay. So you may also be asked to do Gohon Kumite, so it's worth always practicing that anyway. So now we move on to our Heian Nidan, our kata. So that's Peaceful Mind, 2nd level. As I say, we will do a separate video of how to learn it, but for now we're going to do it just to count. So, depending on what space you've got, make sure you're trying to do those proper stances. Our first stance, our left foot always steps out on this, not stepping backwards. Okay, so we're going to do our double block. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pulling up, 7, kick to the back, 8, shoe toes forward, 1, 2, 3, hey! Okay, so the second half then, we're turning shoe toe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, turning for a downward block, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so this time we'll go through it, and I won't jump to the other end for the second half, we'll just go through it. But I am going to do slightly shorter stances so I don't end up with an extreme close-up. So we start off, left leg forward, so feet together, and rei, butts, and yoi. Heian Nidan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Heat. And yame. Feet together. And rei. Okay, so I'll do that again. I'll try and get a proper kick in this time. I was a bit too close to the corner there. But again, please pay attention to stances. I am doing short stances on this just so we can get the kata in shot. So, feet together, and rei, us, and yoi. Heian Nidan. Slowly. Feet. and yane. Feet together, and re, us, and yon. Okay, so that's all of the syllabus done, and we'll put this up on YouTube for you as usual. There will be other ones coming as we work through the grades, but for now, thank you for joining in. Was.